Hi, my name is Deborah Johnson, and I am doing a presentation on Black Panther, the movie. Did it inspire our young Black youth? Was the movie Black Panther a way to help the Black community recognize the riches of their culture and how it impacted on the young Black youth? The movie displayed a young Black, powerful, intelligent male from a strong, dominating family that held the power of the world in his hands. The family was well respected by their community and was the forerunner of many interventions that impacted on the well being of their country. The Black Panther movie made a strong impact on the Black culture. The movie signified power and strength in the Black community. Not only did it signify power and strength, it rekindled great folk tales of the power of the African community and how the great forefathers and mothers ruled a country with such dignity and pride. One of the interesting questions that was raised is how did this powerful movie impact the Black young youth? Many would suspect that the Black male youth saw this movie as an opportunity to see a Black role model who represented power, strength, intelligence, and grace. Others hoped that the young Black males would seize the moment and imagine themselves as being just like the Black Panther. However, that is a little difficult when you are a young Black male coming from a single family home with lack of positive role models, living in a low income community base where drug dealing is one of the ways of survival, not to mention how to overcome racism, oppression, stereotypes, and the injustice of society. Young African males have fallen behind their peers in the classroom, but 54% of American males graduate from high school, compared to more than 75% of their Caucasian or Asian American peers. Black male students K through 12 were more likely to be suspended than white students. Their 12th grade reading level scores were lower than other racial groups. As a result of these barriers in high school, Black males 18 and older made up 5.5% of all college students. Of all the Black males that make it through college, 1 out of 6 will obtain a college degree. Many young African American males live in poverty, meaning that their ability to experience upper mobility is crippled by their inability to afford to pay for higher education. The poverty level for Black children is higher than any race. 38.2% live below the U.S. average. Obtaining and maintaining a job for young American males is difficult. 1 of 3 males ages 18 to 24 is unemployed. Unemployment for young Black males is twice as high as the rate for all males. African American young males are 3 times more likely to be victims of child abuse and neglect, 3 times more likely to be victims of robbery, 5 times more likely to be victims of homicide. Moreover, homicide is more likely cause of death for African American youth from the ages of 15 to 24. Young Black adults in prison, while in prison, while people of color make up 30% of the U.S. population, Black males account for 60% of that. According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, 1 in 3 Black males can expect to go to prison in their lifetime. Spending time in prison can impact on a young person's future. High rates of recidivism mean that many youths, once in the prison system, will stay there for a large portion of their lives. Up to 1/3 will return back to prison 5 years after their release. African American youths have higher rates of juvenile incarceration and are more likely to be sentenced to adult prison. The war on drugs has been primarily waged in the communities of color, where people of color are more likely to receive higher sentences. Voters' laws that prohibit people with felonies convictions to vote disproportionately impact males of color. On a good note, The help addresses the disproportion of school behavior when addressing issues impacted by young Black youth. Many educational institutions have put in place the Schools Discipline Initiative to bring increased awareness of effective policies and practices to ultimately disseminate the school to prison. For example, states like California and Massachusetts are in the process of considering legislation to address the disproportion suspensions among students of color. And in Clayton County, Georgia, collaborative local reform have resulted in 47% reduction in juvenile court referrals and 51% decrease in juvenile felony rates. These incentives could serve as a model of success for decreasing the disparity of incarceration in young American youth. Here is just an example of youth incarceration in the United States. Here serves another example of the decrease of incarcerations among American youth in terms of use of color, and the decline in most of the states, which is a very positive thing for the Black community. The movie character Black Panther was created by Marvel Productions. This character was created in 1969 at a time when the Americans were going through its own transition of securing civil rights for people of color. Through my research on the Black Panther, Marvel realized that they were taking a risk in creating a Black character that symbolized strength, power, and leadership in the African community. After speaking to some Black youths at the movie theater and some of the other public places, each shared amazing stories of how the movie inspired them and created a sense of ownership. Many spoke about the character and how they were able to see the Black Panther as a positive role model and doing good in society. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.